Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon. Sister Wives Cristin Brown beating Kody memory to death. Is Sister Wives Cristin Brown Woolley beating her ex-husband, Kody Brown's memory to death? Some fans are questioning if she is having a problem completely breaking free from him. So what has them thinking this? Keep reading for more details. Sister Wives Cristin Brown beating Kody memory to death. When Cristin Brown Woolley chose to leave Kody Brown and the plural family, she knew it was the right decision. Kody had already made it clear that they would no longer be intimate and that he was not attracted to her for some time. More than that, he was not invested in their children, and his fourth wife, Robyn Brown, was his favorite. However, making the decision to move to Utah was a whole other beast because Kody tried to sway her from leaving Flagstaff. Yet her older kids were there and she truly felt that it was home for her. She has been having an amazing time in Utah as she found her soulmate in David Woolley. The two tied the knot in October 2023 in front of over 300 guests and 13 of the Brown children. At the same time, some fans are questioning why Cristin keeps bringing up Kody if she has moved far past him. Recently, she was on a trip and stopped at a gas station. It was the one where she and Kody had a date and she got the infamous nachos, which completely repulsed him. Now, on July 2nd, she brought up nachos again as she and her husband sat and ate them together. Cristin Brown Woolley joked that he likes the way she eats them, which led fans to start a Reddit thread. Though the OP loved it, others wondered why she had to keep beating this memory with Kody. IDK. I kinda wish she'd stop giving Kody another thought. Trolling the ex means you still think about him. If she is so happy with her new man/life, she needs to let it go. This is bordering on pathetic. Move on already. Some Sister Wives fans equated Cristin Brown Woolley to a teenager with the way she cannot get over the nachos story. More so, they think she needs to get over it already. They pointed out that if she is so happy with David Woolley, why does she have to rehash this horrible memory? It seems she cannot let it go, and that is a problem. Some thought it was an old clip as she had talked about the nachos prior, but it clearly was not. Cristin Brown's eyes darted around the dimly lit room, her heart pounding in her chest. She hadn't felt this way in years, not since the early days of her marriage to Kody. Back then, hope and excitement had filled her heart, but now it was something different, something raw and powerful. She stood in front of a large, ornate mirror, her reflection staring back at her with a mix of determination and uncertainty. Memories of her life with Kody played out like a cruel slideshow in her mind, each image more painful than the last. She saw herself, younger and full of dreams, standing beside him on their wedding day. She saw the years that followed, filled with children, laughter, and a growing sense of unease. The mirror seemed to pull her into its depths, and she found herself reliving those moments in vivid detail. There was the time Kody had promised to always be there for her, only to break that promise time and time again. She remembered the countless nights she had spent alone, waiting for him to return from one of his other wives' homes, her heart etching with loneliness. Cristin's fingers tightened into fists at her sides, the nails digging into her palms. She could feel the anger and betrayal bubbling up inside her, a torrent of emotions that she had kept buried for far too long. She had tried to be the perfect wife, the perfect mother, but it had never been enough. Kody had always been chasing something else, someone else. She took a deep breath and closed her eyes, willing herself to stay calm. She wasn't that young, naive girl anymore. She was stronger now, wiser. She had built a life for herself and her children, despite Kody's neglect. She had found her own path, her own strength. But the memories still haunted her, and she knew she couldn't move forward until she faced them head-on. She opened her eyes and stared at her reflection once more, seeing not just the pain but the resilience that had kept her going all these years. She remembered the day she had finally decided to leave. It had been one of the hardest decisions of her life, but also the most liberating. She had packed her bags and taken her children, leaving behind the life she had known for so long. It had been a leap into the unknown, but she had never looked back. Cristin walked over to a small table in the corner of the room, where a photo album lay open. She picked it up and began to flip through the pages, each photograph a reminder of the life she had lived. There were pictures of family gatherings, holidays, and birthdays. There were smiles and laughter, but also a shadow of sadness that lingered in the background. She paused on a photo of herself and Kody, taken during one of their rare moments of happiness. They were standing in front of a Christmas tree, their arms around each other, smiles plastered on their faces, but even in that moment she could see the distance in his eyes, the way he seemed to be looking past her. Cristin's grip on the album tightened and she felt a surge of anger. She had given him everything, and he had taken it for granted. He had made her feel like she was never enough, like she was just one of many. She closed the album with a snap and set it back on the table. She knew what she had to do. She couldn't change the past, but she could reclaim her future. She could take those painful memories and use them as fuel to build a better life for herself and her children. Cristin walked over to the window and looked out at the world beyond. The sun was setting, casting a warm, golden glow over the landscape. It was a new beginning, a chance to start fresh. She took a deep breath and felt a sense of peace wash over her. She was no longer defined by her past or by her relationship with Kody. She was her own person, strong and independent. Cristin turned away from the window and walked back to the mirror. She looked at her reflection and smiled, a genuine smile that reached her eyes. She had beaten the memory of Kody to death, and in doing so she had found herself. It was a long journey, but she was ready for it. She had her children, her friends, and her newfound sense of self-worth. She was Cristin Brown, and she was unstoppable.